going to do a quick recap of the distance formula, right? The distance formula is what we learned on Monday. We learned that if we want to find the distance between 2 points, we use this formula that we've got on the screen at the moment, right? So I'm going to ask you guys, this one is a nice and easy one. Hello, Junior. All right. To look for the distance between 0 and 0, which is x, and 15 and 20, which is y. Now, the first thing we need to do, because we're going to substitute, Mateo, that's fine. Watch what I'm going to do, and you're going to see how nice and easy it is. Okay. All right. Teacher Nels, I think I'm going to continue for this because this is still a recap. Okay.
Okay.
Because we're still doing a recap, so I won't start any new stuff until he gives us the go ahead. All right. Okay. If you can just tell him that on the group, that would be great. Okay, so we're going to look for xy. So before I look for xy, I'm going to take this coordinate of x and I'm going to name it x1 and y1. Just like they have over here, they've got an x1 and a y1. So I'm going to replace, when I see a y1, I'm going to replace it with this number. Where I see an x1, I'm going to replace it with this number. No worries, Lihle, welcome. And then I'm going to name this side x2 and y2 because they are x coordinates and y coordinates. And then all we have to do, guys, is substitute into the formula. So I'm going to go xy is equal to the square root of, open bracket, x2, which is 15, minus x1, which is 0, all squared, plus, open brackets, y2, which is 20, minus y1, which is 0, all squared. Okay, close bracket, all squared. And this is going to equal to the square root of 15 minus 0 is just 15 squared, plus 20 minus 0, which is 20 squared. Okay, and then we're just going to punch this into our calculator, guys. We're going to go into our calculator. The square root, or the 15 squared, not the square root, 15 squared is going to be 225 plus 20 squared, which is 400. And at this point, everybody has picked up their calculator and they're going to tell Teacher Coco what the square root of 625 is, because that's the answer we're looking for. How much is it, guys? Let me know. Ah, beautiful, Batobele and Nicole. And Puseleto, and Nkuri, and Retepile. Ah, awesome. Yes, Mbali, and Annelisa, and Lundoguhle, and Tlanta Remofilwe, guys. Okay, not the square root. Okay, Shaden, the answer is not the square root. The answer is going to be the square root of 625, which is 25. Okay. All right. This seems kind of easy, guys. I'm not going to belabor it. We're going to try 15 together. I want you to pop your answer for it in the chat as we go along. All right. So I'm going to name them for you just to make it a little bit easier. I'm going to say this value for C, this, I'm going to name this X1 and Y1. And I'm going to name these two X2 and Y2. I want you guys to please use the same formula that we're seeing up here. Find me the distance for CD. So, ma'am, we always start with the second one's example, always x2, then x1. Puseleto, it won't matter. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. If I decide, no worries, Chimera. I'll tell you why it won't matter. If I switch them around, and I decided to make this one x1 and y1, and I make this one x2 and y2, the answer is still going to be the same. Okay, hi Palisa, no worries, my sweetie. We know why we're running a little bit late. Okay. The answer is going to be the same. And to show that it's going to be the same, Puseleto, you can try it. Okay, yes. And Annelisa says, should we always leave it in surd form? Yes, please. Do not give me a decimal. I want you to leave it underneath the square root sign. Okay. Thank you, Teacher Nels, unless it's a perfect square or a whole number. Ah. Guys, I told you, Teacher Nels is also a maths teacher, guys. You must ask her all of these questions. Kimotlo's done. Everybody's just out here. Yes, yes. Ukhanse, yes, you can write the answer, my sweetie. Pop your answer in the chat once you have it. Ooh, I think Ukhanse forgot the square root. Ah, there we go. We forgot the square. Yes, Rorisang, well done. For those of you who are seeing everybody else's answer in the chat, please double check for yourself. Okay. Make sure that they're telling us the truth there. They're not just making stuff up. Okay. No worries, Yona. Oh, Yonwaba. There we go. Sorry, Yonwaba. I needed to say the full name, Yonwaba. Thank you, Daniela and Lisha. I was trying to put Daniela and Lisha together and it came out as Lisha. Yes, Daniela and Lisha and Zwanga. Nolwazi says the square root of 15. Okay. Michael says plus or minus. And we're going to have a bit of a conversation about that plus or minus because it's very important that we know why we only take the positive and not the negative. If anybody knows why we only take the positive, who can tell us? Help us out in the chat. Or you can even raise your hand. Yes, Kama, we're going to do the problem from Tuesday. Hello. Lovely to see you. Okay, I'm seeing most people saying we're getting the square of 221. Let's double check and see if this is correct. All right, so CD, I'm going to move my CD over. So CD is going to equal to the square root of, open brackets, x2 is 6 minus 11, all squared, plus y2 is 2 minus y1, so minus negative 12 would give us positive 12 all squared. This is equal to the square root of 6 minus 11 is negative 5 all squared plus 2 minus negative 12 is 12. So that's 2 plus 12, which is 14 all squared. This is equal to the square root of 25 plus the square root of, I've completely forgotten, sorry, not the square root, I've completely forgotten what 14 squared is. Guys, help me out. What is 14 squared? No worries, Tinswalo. 196. Okay, thank you. 196. Okay, excellent. Therefore, CD is going to equal to the square root of 221. Indeed it is. Thank you so much, guys. By the way, I didn't forget what the square root of, what 14 squared is. I was just checking to see if you guys are awake. I was checking. No, my sweetie, you do need to give us your name. Somebody said, sorry, ma'am, I'm late. Did I miss anything? We need your name. Hi, Shaden.
Hi, ma'am. I just wanted to find out, is the bracket, the negative sign always going to be in the bracket, or does it change and the positive always outside the bracket?
The positive always outside the bracket. So inside, we always do the negative. We always minus the 2 from each other. Okay.
Okay, so it's always going to be like that. Don't change.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
You're very welcome, my sweetie. Yes, Moteo's like, so the numbers in the brackets must always minus. Yes. And if you're still confused as to why we need to minus them, we did this. We did this. We explained why in Monday's lesson. Okay, I'm just going to say it has something to do with Pythagoras. Okay, it has something to do with Pythagoras. And we know that Pythagoras is always going to be a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. There's always going to be a plus in the middle. Okay. All right. There's always going to be a plus middle in the middle. Okay. Nyasha says, sorry, ma'am, I don't understand anything. Nyasha, please just let me know. Are you joining us for the first time today? Because if you are, that might tell us why we're a little bit confused. Okay. If you are joining us for the first time. So Lorato saying, explain, please explain again, ma'am. No worries. Okay, I'm going to. If we skip the second one and do the third step, because you're, yes, you can. Kumelele says negative 5 squared how? Kumelele, -5 all squared is the same as -5 times -5. What is -5 times -5, guys? It's 25, okay. And remember, Pumilele, a negative and a negative will give us a positive, and then 5 times 5 will give us 25. That's why ma'am can just write 25 without having to worry about the minus, okay? That's why I'm doing that. Okay, for those of you who are like, ma'am, I'm still confused. We go through many of these on Monday. So I'm going to need you guys to please watch the Monday one. And then once you're done watching the Monday video, come back and rewatch the beginning of this one, because we do the exact same thing again. Okay. Hi, Naledi.
Hi, ma'am. Ma'am, I didn't quite hear you right when we got the answer of squared with the 2 to 1 under it. Ma'am, do we write the decimal or do we leave the answer like that?
We leave it underneath the square root. The only time we write a full number is if it's going to give us a whole number, like the square root of 625 was 25. Okay. Only if it's going to give us a nice number. If not, leave it underneath the square root sign. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're very welcome, my sweetie. Okay. All right. Teacher Nels, can I ask you to help a learner named Saneliswe? She says, Sanelisiwe, she says she can't hear me. Okay, if you can DM her for me. All right. Yes, thank you, Kimuklu. Kimuklu's like, my math teacher always says, think like a mathematician. That's why we skip some grade 7 steps. You know why she says that? Because mathematicians are lazy. I'll admit it, mathematicians are lazy. All right, let's look at the questions that we had looked at on Tuesday, because we had finished up with this one that says the distance between 2 points 1 and 2 and 16 and P is equal to 17. Okay, awesome, she can hear. All right, can I just get a thumbs up? Can everybody see and hear me? Can everybody see and hear me? Give me a thumbs up, guys. I'm just double checking. Excellent, excellent. All right. All right, Lerato, no worries. Take a quick screenshot, my sweetie, because I need to move. I need to go. I need to go. I need to go. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. All right. Excellent stuff. Okay, so we're going to look at this question here very quickly. Okay. Because it has something to do with what we're working on, but it also incorporates algebra in here. So the question says that the distance between the points 1 and 2 and 16 and P is 17. So we're going to do the exact same thing we did before, guys. We're going to name this X1 and Y1, and we're going to name this one X2 and Y2. And they tell us that the distance between these points, we're going to call them A and B, is 17. So what we're actually doing, guys, is we're calculating for the length, for the point P, but we've been given the length already. Now, if I had to write this, I hope you guys can still see the numbers there. Okay. Ouch, Shifaro. It's okay, my sweetie. And we did trig so well. You need to go look at our videos. They were so fun. All right. Not D, Mawande. I'm going to show you now. So they're saying that AB, the distance AB is 17. So we already know that AB is equal to 17. The other thing we know is that AB is equal to the square root of x2 minus x1 plus squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. I hope everyone is with me here. I haven't done anything funky. I'm just reading the question as it is. Okay. Now I'm going to substitute in where I can. Okay. So 2 squared 15. Give me a clue. I'm not sure. For this question that we've got here, I'm not sure about that answer, but let's go ahead and see. Let's go ahead and see if you get that. Because what you're supposed to find is 2 answers for P. All right. So I'm going to take, I know that AB is equal to 17. So I'm going to replace this part of my equation with 17. Okay. No, Unako, it's not. It's not, Maswidi. Okay. So I'm going to replace AB with 17. So 17 is equal to the square root of, and I'm going to open brackets. My x2 is 16 minus x1, which is 1, close brackets. Oh, okay. Now, I said y squared minus y. Oh, sorry, Naledi. You know what I meant, y2. I meant y2. Okay, plus, if I open my y2 is called P, minus my y1, which is 2. Close brackets, all squared. Right. So we're going to do some quick maths here. I'm going to get 17 is equal to the square root of 16 minus 1 will give us 15, all squared. No worries, DK lady, welcome. Plus P minus 2, all squared. Now, guys, I want to get rid of the square root. How do I get rid of a square root, guys? Good. Okay, good, Mawande, that's it. If I want to get rid of a square root, I need to do the opposite. So I need to square. I'm going to square this whole side. But if I square the right-hand side, I must also square the left-hand side. I can't just square one of the sides, right? So now I know that 17 squared is 289 is equal to, and then the square and the square root will cancel each other out. So I will end up with 15 squared, okay, plus P minus 2 all squared. All right. Now I'm going to replace 15 squared with the actual number, which is 225. My whole life. 225. Okay, now, do you guys remember? Give me a thumbs up if you remember. When we are doing algebraic expressions, we know that if I have P minus 2 all squared, I can rewrite this as P minus 2 multiplied by P minus 2. Give me a thumbs up if you know this, and you can do. Puseleto even went, yo, guys, Puseleto's like, write it twice. And then was like, and then foil. Ha, guys, you're doing my job for me here. My job is being done for me. Good. Right. I can rewrite it twice. So that's exactly what we're going to do, guys. We're going to rewrite it twice, and then we're going to foil. Okay. We're going to do the foil method. So we're going to go foil, first, outer, inner, last. I want you guys to do that along with me as we go. So I'm going to get 289 is equal to 225, and then I'm going to do this part. P times P will give me positive P squared. P times negative 2 is minus 2P. Negative 2 times P is minus 2P. And then negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. Okay. I hope everyone is with me here. I just did basic grade 9 maths. I didn't do anything fancy. I just did grade 9 maths. Okay. Now I'm going to take all my like terms and I'm going to add them together, right? I know that I've got a negative 2P and a negative 2P. That's going to give me negative 4P. And then I love that word, we're going to transpose. So I'm going to take my 289 and I'm going to bring it over to this side. And then I'm going to take all the numbers and I'm going to add them together, right? So I'm going to have 225 plus 4, and then the 289 is going to come over. Guys, what's going to happen to positive 289 when it comes over? It's going to become good. Puseleto's got the right idea. It's going to become negative. So I'm going to have minus 289. Okay. All right, somebody saying, Teacher Nels, did you see that message? Asipa is asking if you could help out there. Thank you. Yes, Lihle, we're going to learn something new. So I do need you to actually watch the video later. Okay, my sweetie, I'm so sorry. I know load shedding sucks. Okay. Good. It's going to become a negative. Now I want you guys to add up all my like terms. Right. So I'm going to get 0 is equal to, I've got a p squared, and then negative 2 minus 2p, or negative 2p minus 2p will give us negative 4p. And then I want you guys to add the numbers for me and tell me what number I get. 225 plus 4 minus 289. How much are we going to get? Tama, do you have an answer for me?
Ma'am, my answer is very dodgy. It is, I transposed everything so that I wouldn't have like any negative digits that would confuse me. So on the left-hand side, I wrote 60 plus 4p plus p squared is equal to 0. Like I just simplified everything.
Okay, that you're correct in that. You're correct in that we can do that. We can transpose everything to the other side. But my sweetie, what's going to happen to p squared if I take it over? What's it going to be?
Sorry, it becomes negative.
So we're still going to have another problem. You see what I mean? See why I want to keep everything on this side, because my p squared is positive. Yeah?
Oh, dear God.
It's okay, my sweetie. We're learning here. We are learning here. Okay. It's better to make the mistakes here, not in the test. Okay?
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, my sweetie. All right. I think Kimuklu's got the answer here for us. Kimuklu, I'm going to ask you to factorize, because I'm sure everybody knows we need to factorize now. Yes?
Ma'am, I took, from my side, I took 225 and transposed it to 289. Then it became negative, right? Then I took that positive 4 and took it on the left-hand side, and it became negative 4, which is going to be equal to p squared when it's left on the right-hand side. Then I said 60 is equals to p squared.
Okay, sure, my sweet. But the thing that you've forgotten, Kimotoko, is that I have a middle term. See, both of these middle terms are negative, so they don't cancel each other out. It's actually negative 2 minus 2. That's why we get that negative 4p in the middle. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So we need to have that middle term, which means it's a trinomial. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Let's try again. It's okay, my sweetie. We're learning. We are learning. Atlahan says, I'm confused. What is transpose? Atlahan, transpose is just to take it to one side of the equal sign to the other, like this. When you take it over the equal sign, or my grade 8s know it as taking it over the rainbow. Okay, over the rainbow. Over the rainbow. Okay. Those of you who are saying, ma'am, isn't it negative 64? Did you add 4? The one who said negative 64, did you plus 4? Yes, Amorelang, we need to factorize this last step. So I'm going to have 0 is equal to, open 2 brackets, guys, because it's a trinomial. Okay. And then I'm going to have P and P. I need somebody to give me the answers for P. I know this is going to be a plus and minus. Please give me the factors of 60 that are going to give us 4, negative 4, guys. 4 and 15 is not going to give us negative 4, Mawande. That's it. Rorisang has got the correct ones. Okay. Good. So it's going to be, I'm going to have a positive 6 and a negative 10 because I want negative 4p. Shaden says, where are you adding like terms? Here, Shaden, the negative 2p and the negative 2p are like terms. And negative 2p minus 2p is going to give us negative 4p. Okay. And then all the numbers are also like terms. Okay. No, we're not going to use FOIL Amgelang at this point. We've got the answer that we want. Okay. Because we're going to then say like we do when we're solving equations, p plus 6 is equal to 0, or p minus 10 is equal to 0. Therefore, p is equal to negative 6, or p is equal to 10. Okay, give me a thumbs up if you managed to follow, or a thumbs down if you're like, what is this woman talking about? Let me know. Moromotsi is with me, Kuhle is with me, Mawande is with me, Batobele, good, thank you, Lifa, thank you, Ndwela, I see you. I think it's Ndwelala, I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Kama is, okay, Sfiso's like, Yes, Mawande, 4 times 15 gives 60, but when we subtract them, they don't give us that negative 4 term in the middle. And then Asipe literally just writes, what is ma'am talking about? I'm sorry, my sweetie. Okay, we're going to do another example, guys. We're going to do another example together, okay? We're going to do another example together, and I want you guys to try and stick with me, okay? We're going to do the steps together. All right. Okay, look at this question underneath here. Kuningi is getting kuningi. Oh my goodness. All right, let's have a look at this question that we've got here, guys. Okay, Samkelo, I'm going to try and take it step by step. Okay, the first thing I'm going to remind you guys, I'm going to remind you that the distance formula says that D is equal to, okay, we're going to get there. Okay, D is equal to the square root of, open brackets, x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 all squared. Okay. Then I'm going to rename these two coordinates that they've given us here. I'm going to rename this one A, and I'm going to rename this one B. Okay, I'm going to take it step by step, guys. Okay, I'm going to take it step by step. And then I'm going to call these coordinates x1 and y1. Actually, let me do it the other way around. Okay. I'm going to call this one. Nope. Okay. X1 and Y1. And I know why, because it's going to start getting finicky. Okay. X1 and Y1. Guys, tell me, what am I going to name these two? Tell me in the chat. If this one is X1 and Y1, what are these ones over here? The coordinates of B. What are they going to be called? Good, Nicole, you've got it. Viewer, you've got it. Mamello, you've got it. Kiara, you've got it as well. Good, Uhanze, good. This is going to be X2 and Y2. All right. Yes, Chifaro. D stands for distance. Okay, we are calculating for the distance. Okay. All right, good, excellent. Thank you, Ufense. Ufense even put it so beautifully for us. Okay, that's okay, Mawanda. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. All right, so here's what we're going to do, guys. In our formula, wherever we see x1, we're going to replace it with -3. Wherever we see a y1, we're going to replace it with -4. Where we see x2, we're going to replace it with q. And wherever we see y2, we're going to replace it with 5. Now, guys, I'm going to ask you, what am I going to replace my D with? If my D is my distance, what does my question tell me my distance is? Good. It's 15. It's 15. The question says the distance between the points is 15. So we're going to replace D with 15. And I can see Shaden is with me now. Okay. Hi, Tabo, no worries. Okay, so I'm going to start by replacing all of the things I have in the formula. So I'm going to go 15 is equal to the square root of, open brackets, my x2 value is q. So I'm going to put a q where x2 is, minus, what is my x1 value, guys? Tell me in the chat. My x1 value is? Good. Good. So I'm going to go q minus -3. Is everybody with me? Does everybody understand why it's minus negative? Yes, Shaden.
Yes, ma'am, I understand this part. But ma'am, I just wanted to check. I see you switched it up a little with the X, Y, and Y1 and Y1, X1 and Y1. And because the other one was X, I think it was X2 and Y2, and B was maybe X1 and Y1.
Okay, it's still the same, my sweetie. Look, I'm still going to have X1 and Y1. And over here, I'll have X2 and Y2. The only thing, okay, the only thing, my sweetie, is that if I have X1, the Y coordinate right next to it also needs to be Y1. Okay, so I can't switch them around. If I decide that this one is X1, the one right next to it is automatically Y1.
Okay, so it's okay if I can say maybe A is X2 and Y2 also.
Absolutely, absolutely. We're going to get to the same answer.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Tinswalo says, ma'am, can you please put your page down? I can't see. Tinswalo, I think you need to, I need you to zoom in or out, my sweetie, one of the two. Okay, yes, Kama.
10+4. Boom. Ma'am, are we still on the same sum?
Yes, we are. We are doing this one that I'm showing you right over here, my sweetie. Okay. Okay.
Yo.
Right, hold on, don't go away.
Sorry, wait.
I may have want to lose you. All right. We took x2, which was q. Are you with me?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And we replaced x2 with q in the formula, 100%.
Okay. Yes.
And then the equation says minus. So I put a minus there. And then I need to put x1. What is x1? -3. Good. So I have q minus -3.
Okay.
Okay. Now I need to do the, I've got plus, open brackets. Tell me, comma, I need to replace the y2. What is my y2 value?
-4.
Y2.
Hi? Oh, sorry, 5. Oh my gosh.
5 minus, there's a minus in the middle. What is my y1 value?
-4.
Good. So I'm -4. -4. Understood?
Yes.
Close brackets and then to the power of?
2.
Good. Excellent. Okay. We're still together.
Yes.
Okay. Let's clean it
Hopefully.
up. You're with me. Don't stress. Clean it up with, all right, 15 is equal to the square root of, let's clean this up. Q minus and minus will give us?
Positive.
Good. So I'm going to get
Q plus 3.
All squared. Agreed?
Yes, ma'am.
Plus, open brackets. Now, we said that a minus and a minus will give us a plus.
Positive.
Good. So this is actually
5 plus 4.
Plus 4, which is?
9.
9 to the power of?
2.
Excellent. All right.
Not me doubting myself right now. Anyways.
You're still with me. Yes, are we still together?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes, ma'am, very much so, like glue.
Okay. I want to get rid of the square root sign. If I want to get rid of the square root sign, I'm going to?
Square it.
Good, I'm going to square it. But I can't do it to one side. If I do it to the right-hand side?
You have to do it to the other side.
Thank you. So we need to square the side as well. Right, so the square will take away the square root sign. The only thing we have left is what's on the inside. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm.
Now, what is 15
Yes.
squared? Because 15 over here is squared. 15 squared will give us?
Yo. 225.
225, that's it.
Trusting the comments right now.
Is equal to, what we have left in here is q plus 3 all squared plus, now you have to tell me 9 squared is equal to?
Yo, 81. Yes.
Don't trust Tariro. What if Tariro's wrong? It's 81. Okay, Tariro's correct. It's 81. Great. Okay. We're still together.
Yes, ma'am.
We haven't lost each other. Now, you agree with
Not
me?
at all.
I haven't said anything yet. How come?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I feel like it's lagging. I'm so sorry.
All right.
Teacher Coco, sorry.
Okay.
Did you see Annelise's comment? She asked if you could put the negative, if you have a negative, put it in brackets so that it will make sense because it's confusing to her.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yes. Okay, hold on, comma. She's saying, can we do this? -4? Absolutely. You can. You can do that. Same as over
Yes.
here, because the negative and the negative will just give us a positive. So you can put it in brackets, 100%. Okay. All right. So the next part, my sweetie, is we're going to take q plus 3 all squared, and we're going to break it up in its 2 brackets. You agree with me there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm going to get 225 is equal to, open bracket, q plus 3, and then I'm going to open another bracket that has
81. Oh no, sorry. Q plus 3 again. Sorry.
again, and then plus.
Plus 81.
Good. All right. Now, what am I going to do with these 2 brackets in the middle?
You're going to use foil to work them out.
Good. We're going to use foil and work them out. There and there, there and there. Good. So our sum will read 225 is equal to q times q is q squared. Q times 3
Plus
is
6q.
good.
Plus 6q.
3q plus 3q will give us 6q, and then 3 times 3
Plus
will give
9.
us plus 9. Good.
Yes.
But
yes.
Plus, what is still plussing over here?
The 81.
Good, plus 81. We're not done. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Then I need everything on one side because I can see that this thing is a quadratic. It's got a q squared. So I need everything on one side. So I'm going to take my 225 over to the other side of the equal sign, and it'll become?
Negative 225.
Good. So I'm going to have 0 left on the side. I'll have 0 is equal to q squared plus, finish up for me.
Plus 6q.
6q.
Plus 9. No, sorry. Plus 70, because I just added them up, like, to not get myself confused.
Okay, if we add them up, we're going to get 90. Do you agree with me? 9 plus 81
90. Oh my gosh.
plus 90. And then we've just brought over 225. So it's going to be
Yes.
minus.
Minus 225. Yo.
Okay, take 90 and minus 225 for me. And how much do we get?
165.
It's not going to be 165. Do you see what happens when you trust the people in the chat?
Ma'am, I'm not trusting the comments. No, I'm not trusting the comments. I tried working it out now.
Guys, help
which
them
means
out.
both of our
What
maths
is
is wrong.
90 minus 225? Help come out, guys. There we go. These answers you can trust. It's going to give us?
Love you guys. Oh, always have my back.
Negative 135. You're with me. Okay, so my equation is going to read q squared.
Yes, ma'am.
6q minus 135. Now,
135.
I'm solving for a quadratic equation. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
So
yes, ma'am.
I would open 2 brackets. You agree?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and I would put a plus and a plus. And what goes in the front over here?
The Q's.
Q and Q, excellent. Now we have to do what we always do. Find me the factors of 135 that are going to give me positive 6 when subtracted.
Yo.
We're going to help each other out, guys.
Side eye.
Useletso's helping. Useletso's helping you, and I'm lying about the sign. One of them
9 and 15.
Good. All right. So Useletso says 9 and 15. Which one of them is going to be negative? Because remember, I want positive.
The 9 is going to be negative.
Good. And the 15 will be positive.
Positive.
Now I've got answers, right? I've got 2 answers.
Yes, ma'am.
Q plus 15 is equal to
0.
Or
Q plus 9 is equal to 0.
Q minus 9. Minus 9.
Minus 9, sorry.
Equal to 0. All right. Therefore, Q is equal to
minus 15.
Minus 15 or
Q is equal to positive 9.
Positive 9. Those are the 2 answers we were looking for.
Yeah. Ma'am, do you see what I mean when I say kuningi and it's getting kuningier?
I get you, but when I say we're not doing anything new, when I say we're not doing anything new, do you see how we did grade 9?
We really aren't.
We're
yes,
not really,
ma'am, we really aren't.
That's
and
all.
I feel like one thing I've noticed, is that if you're not good in one section, it's going to come back and bite you in the rest of the other sections. Absolutely. Because clearly every single math sum we are factorizing.
You know what I mean?
I don't like factorizing.
I'm sorry, but we're going to factorize every single time. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, ma'am.
You're very welcome, my sweetie. Okay, very well done. You see, Shaden is giving you like a yes, because the kuninging must kuning. It mustn't kuning. It must get less. You know what I mean? I know, guys, maths is hard, but we practice. Okay, all right. I need to show you one more thing very quickly. And the reason for that is because it's part of today's quiz. Okay. Okay, and it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult. But I'm already thinking, if you can't get these questions correct, it's fine. Okay, it's fine. All right. We're going to park that whole idea of distance formula. We're not going to talk about the distance formula anymore. Okay, we're going to look at the midpoint formula. Okay, very, very quickly. Okay, so if I have 2 points, guys, if I have 2 points, A and B, right? Okay, yes, absolutely, Mawande, but we're not going to do the midpoint formula. Mawande is onto something. If I have 2 points, guys, A and B, like this, I want you guys to find me the middle mark. I want you to find me C, which is the middle between A and B, right here in the middle. That's what the midpoint formula does. But I want you guys to note something. The midpoint formula, because A is X and Y, and B is also an X and a Y coordinate. When I calculate for C, I'm also going to get an X and a Y. I must get a coordinate because it's also sitting on the Cartesian plane. So I can't get just an answer like we were doing with the distance formula. It can't just give us an answer. It can't just be like, the answer is 17, ma'am. Okay. Buseletso, we're going to use, remember, Buseletso, we choose the X1 and the Y1 and the X2 and the Y2. Okay. So look at the formula. Yes, Mawande. So this one, if this one is X1 and Y1, and this one is X2 and Y2, this one will be X3 and Y3. Okay. No, it's not. No, cute, it's not. Okay. The comma Does that comma mean subtract or add? The comma doesn't mean anything. It's the middle, it's the X coordinate and the Y coordinate. Okay, I want you guys to watch what I'm going to do very quickly. Okay. Did we all write down the midpoint formula? Write it down if you haven't. Okay. I need you guys to just watch me. 1 second. The midpoint of, we're going to call this one A and B. If I want to find the midpoint of A and B, I'm going to do this. Okay, we're going to name this one X1 and Y1, and we'll name this one X2 and Y2. Okay, I'm going to take X1, which is -4, plus X2, which is 5, over 2, like the formula says, comma in the middle. And then I'm going to take Y1, which is 4, plus Y2, which is -1, over 2. Close brackets. Let's do some basic maths. Let's do some basic maths. This is going to give me the midpoint. -4 plus 5 is how much, guys? How much is -4 plus 5? Good, it's 1. So I'm going to get 1 over 2, comma. Over here, I've got 4 plus -1. This is 4 minus 1. How much is 4 minus 1, guys? 4 minus 1 is 3 over 2. Close brackets. Done. Okay, I've got to run. This is all. For those of you who are like, ma'am, what is this? What is this? And look, we're finished. Do the quiz, guys. I've got to run.